Hello everybody, Daniel from Spacedock here. We're a week into the Sojourn Kickstarter campaign and we've got well over 1,000 backers. The series has been fully funded and we've reached the first 2 of our stretch goals. Thank you so much to everyone who's helped support this series. We've already started work on the full season and I'm so excited to be telling more stories in this universe. Our next stretch goal will give us a post-episode crew podcast as well as an extra episode for the first season. So please do consider checking out the Kickstarter in the description below if you haven't already. Again, thank you all so much and I hope you enjoy the following video. Designed by the Incom Corporation, who had previously provided the Rebellion with the legendary T-65 X-Wing, the T-47 Airspeeder began its life as a humble industrial cargo carrier, before being converted into an atmospheric patrol craft for use by the Rebel Alliance. At a length of 4.5 meters, the compact frame of the Alliance-issue T-47 features a prominent 2-seat cockpit compartment, with the foremost seat housing the aircraft's pilot and the rear-facing seat that once held a cargo handling manager, now being operated by trained Alliance gunners. The craft uses KD-49 repulsor lift engines and ion afterburners to achieve top speeds of up to 1,100 km per hour when properly modified, and can operate at a maximum altitude of 175 meters on most terrestrial planets. In Alliance service, the T-47 carries a pair of forward-mounted CEC AP-11 laser cannons, capable of threatening light Imperial walkers and other small ground targets in strafing attacks. The Speeder's tailgun module is loaded with a repeating blaster cannon, as well as an Ubrikian MODK energy harpoon and tow cable, left in place from the vehicle's former career as a cargo hauler. The Alliance refit of the T-47 also included an increase in the vehicle's durability, using salvaged Y-wing components to add some measure of armour to the Speeder's frame. The T-47 was never intended to be a military vehicle, and the Alliance refit greatly increased its overall mass. These factors made the Speeder fairly sluggish when manoeuvring, and combined with a relatively large ventral profile, this exposed the Speeder to attacks from small arms and hostile ground vehicles. The Speeders used retractable air brakes to partially mitigate their manoeuvring issues, but even after their military refit, the Speeders were essentially useless for engaging in airborne dogfights with other craft, and could only be properly employed when air superiority had already been achieved. When the Rebel Alliance established Echo Base on the surface of the ice planet Hoth, efforts were quickly made to adapt their complement of T-47s so that they could function properly in the freezing environment. This process was difficult and time-consuming, requiring a number of heaters and de-icing nozzles to be installed in all critical areas of the frame to ensure that propulsion and navigation systems could not be disabled by icing in mid-flight. By the time these conversions had been completed, Alliance pilots and deck crew had begun to refer to the craft as Snowspeeder, a name that would often persist even when the vehicles were used in more temperate environments. Easily the most famous engagement involving the Incom T-47 was the pivotal Battle of Hoth in 3 ABY. Having prevented Imperial bombardment using a planetary shield generator, the Rebel Alliance had forced the orbiting Imperial fleet to deploy a ground assault force with the objective of disabling the Rebel shield generator. This had provided the Alliance with the time they needed to evacuate Echo Base and its surrounding facilities for a coordinated escape aboard GR-75 transport craft. During this evacuation process, it was necessary to delay the approaching assault walkers of the Imperial ground force, and this task fell to the newly adapted Snowspeeders of Rogue Squadron. Realizing they were unable to penetrate the thick armor plating of Imperial AT-AT walkers using conventional laser cannons, the pilots of Rogue Squadron developed an unorthodox tactic, employing the T-47's harpoon and tow cable to grapple and then entangle the legs of the towering Imperial walkers, causing them to collapse under their own weight. The Alliance defeated a number of AT-ATs in this manner, and though eventually the Imperial force was able to reach and destroy the planetary shield generator, the actions of Rogue Squadron had succeeded in delaying them long enough for the majority of the Alliance garrison to be evacuated. The Rebellion continued to employ T-47 Airspeeders in numerous engagements across the Galactic Civil War, even continuing to use the unique harpoon strategy to defeat Imperial walkers in other important battles, such as the Battle of Koflis. However, the T-47 is most fondly remembered for its actions in the Battle of Hoth, where, through typical Alliance ingenuity, a scattering of converted cargo speeders were able to hold back a superior force comprised of some of the most sophisticated units in the Imperial military, serving as a well-remembered symbol of the kind of cunning and irregular tactics that would eventually topple the Galactic Empire. Thank you for watching Spacedock. Please remember to like, subscribe and share for more science fiction spacecraft summaries. If you enjoy the channel, why not consider pledging your support on Patreon? For just $1 a month, you'll be able to access the Spacedock schedule to see what's coming up.